All right, so you still watching The Lounge. Remember that if you are watching this show for the very first time, this is an entertainment breakfast show, the official one on Prime Television Zambia. It comes your way every Fridays from 07:30 all the way up to 09, where we'll get to give you nothing but the best of that particular entertainment music, or entertainment news rather, talking about local entertainment news, what's buzzing on social media, what your entertainers are doing, what they're all about, and of course talking about rumors. So like you've seen today, we are talking about the two Wagwan songs, one done by Mr. Baila Tishan and the other one of course are done by the king himself, King Diesel, right there. Which one do you think has got a better production? Okay, not the video but production, talking about sound. Okay, which one has got a better production, and then which of the two do you think will image a better song, as in which one do you think people will vibe to, which one do you feel people would listen to the most? So moving on with the show right about now, I'm being joined by the Winnie Hope Foundation. I know in my preamble when we started the show we talked about them being in the studio, and of course I just giving you a brief background of where they're coming from, how it was all about. So they started last year. They promised this thing was going to be an annual event, and of course living up to their words, they are here this year. The AIDS Walk is still happening. Hi Winnie, welcome.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm alright, how have you been?
Great, I can't complain.
Yeah, at least I've seen you've put on too much weight this time around.
Can you imagine?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm alright, how have you been?
I've been okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So let's kickstart the interview. I'll begin with you, Winnie. For people that are watching for the first time, maybe last year they never followed the program, they didn't know what was happening. What is this foundation all about?
So this foundation is about helping kids, the adolescents that are living with HIV AIDS, and the one that don't have HIV AIDS, so we can have a free generation without HIV AIDS.
No, okay, yes. Awesome. And then let's also move forward. How did this idea come to you to say, you know what, I think let me take up this route? Because many a times that we've seen people, instead of taking part in helping out people that are living with HIV and AIDS, we see people stigmatizing them. So how did this idea come about, and did you see yourself to say this thing that I'm starting, one day it's going to be big and people will believe in it?
You know what, it started in a very sad beginning. The beginning was very sad because I lost 3 siblings with HIV AIDS. First I lost my sister, and then a couple years later I lost my 2 brothers. And then, you know, like we talk about stigma, you know, you feel the same way, because I felt the same way. I walked and I feel like, why is it happening to my family? You know, you think about it. We're gonna go around feet, you know, it's just like in your mind, you're just thinking about it. But eventually, when my sister died, I was a little young. I was probably like 9, 10. And then I moved in the States. And then I really realized at that time, like, you know what, if this is the way I feel, there's so many of us who are feeling like this. How can I make it better? That when you're walking, even if you're infected or affected, we need to support each other. But how can I make it better to support somebody who is affected? Because I can be fine, but somebody else who's drinking medication every day, they feel different. So my goal is to make sure, especially adolescents, to make sure that you are okay. Being HIV positive is not the end of the world. You go get tested, get medication, and so far from then and now, it's been like a road. I do AIDS Walk in New York, and I was doing it for almost like 10 years. And then I realized that if I've been doing it in New York for this long, I should take it home. So last year we launched, as you know, and it was successful. We had about 500 people. And this year we have about 1,000 people walking. And then the Minister of Health is partner with us, and the police is partner with us, and the different, like we have the councillors of Matera coming, and then we have the director of Backless coming. So like we have, and then Ciders. So, and Dreams. So we have different organizations that are recognizing what we're doing. And especially when you think about children, we want to make sure the children don't have to feel how we're feeling in 1999, because we are all one.
Okay. So now, let's take it further. This idea was originally by you.
Yes.
And then you are mostly based in the States.
Yes.
You are not mostly in Zambia. How do you see into it that when you are out of the country, the people that stay here, that remain in Zambia, they still move forward with your dream?
So it's a dream for everybody.
Okay.
So what I do is like I have a team that works underground, and then we make sure like every 2 weeks we have like a little counseling with the kids. Okay. And then when we do youth, like we had a youth day. So all the kids took them in a bus, going to the youth with the march past.
Yes.
And then after that they have lunch. So it's always like I'm always there. I thank God for technology, social media. You know, you can talk to anybody through Facebook, WhatsApp, and anything. So the communication is good. It's just as good as I'm here in Zambia. So I told myself, I'm going to be here as long as I live, every year until this thing works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Let me shift my attention to the gentleman here before I come back to you. Let's say for somebody that would love to come for this particular walk, how would they come through? When is the date, and what time is this thing starting? What should people expect there? Is there free food, free water? Is there entertainment?
Yeah, everything is there. There is water, there is food, and probably you can come through. You can just follow our page, WM Hope Foundation on Facebook, and you can just type a message there. We can show you the directions. The event will be actually in Matero, but probably we're gonna walk from the Relanda Market to the Matero Community Ward, just opposite Choppers there.
Okay.
Yes, probably the time is 8 hours. That's when it's gonna start. And we have a lot of entertainment. We have Rude Boy Morgan will be performing, and we have Dandy Crazy will be performing as well. We have Skin, Paul Skin will be performing as well. So we have a lot of entertainment, a lot of excitement, and there's food. Food is provided. Okay. Yeah, and we'll have lunch.
Okay, and then apart from that, do you have any other activities that will be taking place there?
Yes, we have. We are like, people will be testing for VCT. Yeah, we have, a lot of activities will be happening as well.
Okay, awesome. So anybody can come through, whether you are infected or not.
Infected or affected, you can come. Support each other. Yes.
Oh,
because that is the theme as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let me get back to you. What is this year's theme? What exactly are you guys trying to achieve at the end of this walk?
So this year at the end of the walk, as you said, what you trying to achieve? I'm trying to achieve, what we're trying to achieve as a foundation, we're trying to achieve it because most of the kids that we have in our community, in our foundation, they usually go to the hospital and get counseling at the hospital, get activities at the hospital. So our goal is there's a place that we want to adopt, so we can have like a little community center for the kids where we can have computers, and we're doing like food banking where they can have one meal a day, because there's some kids who don't have meal. And then, you know, knowing HIV AIDS is very strong medication, so the medicine's been provided, but there's no resources for food. So we're trying to adopt this place that we've been asking the government to give us this place. So when we adopt this place, we can have this place better for children instead of being in the facility of the hospital. Because you go to the hospital, get medication, you go to the hospital, get counseling, you go to the hospital, like you're doing everything at the hospital. You know, going to the hospital is not a good place. There's people dying, there's different diseases. So I feel like I want to create a different environment for them. Because I feel like, you know, when you have a library for the youth, somewhere where they can go apart from being in a hospital, they'll have a different mindset. And my perspective of this is that I want the children to have a different mindset. Because I've seen kids where I live, as young as my 3-year-old boy, he knows what he want to be when he grow up. And then they push you towards what you want, and then we have a different mindset here, especially you're sick. If my son comes, oh, I'm going to be this, and I'm telling you, he's doing what he wants to do. When you ask him, even when you tell him, the school will tell you, oh, your son can read, your son does this, push him towards that, because they know the power of generation. But imagine you are affected with HIV AIDS, and you're living with it, your stigma is very high, and if you don't have anybody to push you to your dreams, it's like you falls down. And then we have these kids, like I tell you, they are like A+ student. They're like 16 points, 12 points. They're not in college because there's no funds. So we are looking into that when we walk, and when the government sees what we're doing, they come in and we help these children. That's where we are. That's what we're trying to achieve.
Oh, okay. So have you put a time frame for yourselves to say, let's say by end of 2020, 2021, that's when you guys will have this particular kids center where all the kids that are in the foundation will have such an environment?
Yeah. I have put it, it's like by 2021, we should be able to finish it off.
Okay.
Yeah, and the place is going to be in Matero.
No, okay.
Yeah, so we've been secured the place. We've asked that we're just waiting for a response. But by 2021, by August, before the AIDS walk, we should be able to launch that place for the children to be able to have it. If it comes sooner, we'll be more than happy. But you know, it takes a while when you're working with the government. You have patience and ask, and we pray they're going to give it to us.
Okay, I remember last year when we had this interview, I asked about a rollout program because last year you did it in Matero, and this year you're still doing it in Matero. Are we going to see a situation where you are going to roll out this program, move out from Matero? You don't just concentrate on Matero, but you also spread out to all parts of the country. Let's say the other day you're in Kanyama, the other year you're in Chilenje. Are we going to see such happening?
Yeah, I think next year we're trying to look into something else. Actually, not just probably in Lusaka. Maybe try and go somewhere, probably like nearby Kabwe or Copperbelt or Livingstone. So we're looking to we'll have something small here. If we're launching the place next year in Matero for the children, the community center, then there's no need of having the walk in Matero. So we try to branch it off, which is we have a year to plan, and then we're trying to see where we can just get all of us and go to the place. But we're trying to get, because now people here, they know what we're doing. They know why we're doing the HIV AIDS awareness. So if we branch off, I think it'll be great. So we're looking to branch off to go somewhere else next year if we launch the walk.
Okay.
Or just different location in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So lastly, if somebody wants to join this foundation, let's say, I'll put it in two ways. Let's say a sponsor wants to come through and be a part of this foundation, or let's say I'm vulnerable, or I am stigmatized, I am infected, or either I am affected. How do I come through to you and be a part, as in be in this foundation?
We actually, right now, we're trying to recruit team members, because it's just not a job for one person or 5 people. We can have different people. So after this, we're trying to recruit team members, and you don't have to be affected to be part of the foundation. You can be infected, we are all affected at the end of the day. So we're trying to recruit. And then for the partners, what we do for the partners is, we have different partners that they partners with us. So we do their logo becomes part of our banner. When we walk in through the marching, they can sponsor us, and then we put their logo for advertisement as well. And then they can come and see the children and what we're doing. So we are at that particular point. And then how they can get through us now, this Instagram is Williams on the Hope Foundation, and so as Twitter is Williams on the Hope Foundation, as Facebook is Williams on the Hope Foundation, and our email address is williamsonthehopefoundation@gmail.com. So they can contact us, and then we get back to them.
How effective are you in responding to these messages?
I am very effective.
Okay.
I'm a stay-home mom, so I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to school. I can be on the phone.
All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And question, are you coming for the walk?
Yeah, I saw that coming. That's the reason why I want you to go.
You were about to let me go out.
Yeah.
Are you coming for the walk?
Well, okay, I will discuss it in the background, but like I said yesterday, because of that thing, I will be able to talk in the background.
But you can come in. It's like the walk is only like an hour from Milano to Matero, so you can walk, and it's only take an hour. By 9, you'll be gone.
But I also want to eat the free food.
But it's going to be at 12 p.m. by 12 p.m.
So you see, and by that time I need to be at the wedding.
It's okay.
But anyway, we'll see how we can make it possible so that we just come through. I know last year we also missed because of some other engagements, but at least this year we need to make up something.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right. So we're hoping to see you more, but I would really love to see the Roll Out program because I think material is just too much for me. I was hoping this year was going to be Kafue so that we get to travel to Kafue. All right, so I've been talking to Winnie, and of course talking about the AIDS walk, which is happening tomorrow in Matero. Exactly 8 hours the walk starts, and that's by Lilanda bus station. You're walking all the way to Matero Hall, so it's just an hour walk, and there's quite a lot that has been prepared for you guys. So if you are not infected but you are affected, or if you are not any of these, you need to come through and walk with us as we get to support people that are living with this disease, or people that are living with this disability, as we would call it, because it is a disability in one way or the other. Right about now, let's go to Napsa. Let's see him talking about the GRZ messages. I know everybody has been receiving the GRZ messages, but let's take it into comedy and see what he's up to this particular time.